Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 53 of the Local to Global here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, I made a mistake in last episode. I unfortunately gave Tom Townsend a written contract, and his contract wasn't exclusive. So essentially what that means is, I believe that he can now be approached by other companies as well. I'm not sure if he can sign another written contract. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but the way I think it works is we've got him on the written. However, he can still work on appearance deals for other companies. I think that's how it works. I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, it may be possible for a company like CWA to just sign him back to an appearance deal, and then he's obviously going to be working for them over us. So in that regard, we might be paying $70,000 for absolutely nothing per month, and that kind of scares me a bit. It definitely kind of scares me. I went into the editor. I may as well show you exactly what I was going to try and do. But I went to contracts. Obviously went to Tom. As you can see, he has a CWC contract here. However, you can't actually change their contract type. Or at least I haven't seen a way to change it. So in that regard, we are potentially going to have some issues down the line. Now, will we have issues? Remains to be seen, but it's definitely a possibility. Anyway, quick little size update. We are at 80 popularity there in Ontario, 66 in Quebec, 64 in Manitoba. We finally hit 50 in Saskatchewan. We've got 44 in Alberta, 35 in the Maritimes, and then a 31 there for British Columbia. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, let's get straight into the episode. Now, we already have the main event for the Go Home show set out. It was essentially the pre-show match on the last episode that managed to get, I think it was it 88? I think it was an 88. So what I want to try and do there is I want to do that or redo that match. But this time I want to give it 20 minutes. And I want to see if we get the storyline or lack of associated storyline penalty. Because we didn't get it on the pre-show. And I've kind of been noticing since I updated to 1.24 that it's what seems to be the shorter matches don't have the storyline penalty, whereas longer matches do seem to still have it, like a lack of associated storyline. So that'll be a bit of an interesting test to see what we actually find out here tonight. Like I said, if we're going to go 20 minutes, I'm assuming that we will get some lack of associated storyline penalty. But hopefully it won't matter too much. And hopefully with a hot crowd, it was mentioned in a comment, the hot crowd could potentially outweigh that negative there for that that match in particular. So looking forward to that. But at the same time, we've got some other sort of storyline stuff. I need to actually go back over the last episode because I don't exactly remember in detail what I did, to be fair. I think pretty sure I did do a Princeton Price Zeus match. But again, not 100% sure. So I'll take a brief little look there. I think we have an easy match for Gary Walker in the lead up to his match at the pay-per-view with Marco Gonzalez. Angry Gilmore could potentially just verse another member. Maybe Charlie Corner would be a decent option. I don't think we did that. I think... Actually, did we do... I know we did Angry Gilmore. I think it was on the pre-show against somebody, but yeah, anyway. We had a chance to potentially sign Eric Strong. That might have been a bit of an oversight. He's still really good. He's only 38 as well. Does he have... He's not in time decline yet. So he would have been a decent option, but doesn't matter too much. Interestingly, we actually have the Force here, who we could sign. Never mind. Apparently, we're too small for him. But obviously, 23 stamina. We probably don't want to sign him, even though he does have 80 popularity. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. We also looked at Jason Thunder in that last episode, of course. One half of a very famous Canadian tag team. Thunder and Lightning, of course. Lightning Lomas. Yeah. Anyway, got a couple of incidents here. Charlie Corner creating a fun and relaxed atmosphere backstage after finding a discarded karaoke machine and starting an impromptu pre-show competition. And yeah, I mean, good stuff from there. Hopefully, yeah, some more positive backstage stuff. We've got Zippy Devil brightening the backstage because he was simply cheerful and fun to be around. There we go. All right, of course, go home show. Got to be in Ottawa. And let's book the main event. So, actually, let me have a quick look and go back on the show. So, here was the... Sorry. There was the... I guess... Oh, I thought it was... For some reason, I thought it was Zombie Boy. But it was Gary Walker. That's okay. That's okay. What we'll do is... We will have... We'll do that same match. Because I really want to see if it can actually beat 89. But there's going to be some outside involvement in this one, I think. I don't really think it can be too clean, exactly. So it is champion versus champion. Obviously, again, going to be a non-title match. Like I said, we are going to go for 20 minutes on this. So we'll have the potential, to get a decent rating, as the last one did as well. I think I'll make it tainted as well, because... We'll have an outside interference finish with Marco coming to ringside and interfering in the match. We might also have a distraction onto Mobstar. I guess it would make sense to have Goldstein be the person, seeing as he is the current #1 contender. So there we go. That'll kick off their little feud. I think I did set that up in the last episode. Yeah. I think I did that off camera. So that'll be good. Like I said, hopefully the match is good because we need that storyline to continue. But in saying that, I think I actually want to have a Mobstar Aussie Goldstein angle. I think we will go both rated. Because it obviously can be a war of words to sort of end the show. I think it's actually a decent way of going about it. Especially with a pretty low build. We haven't really had a chance with the #1 contender tournament essentially running for the first 3 weeks of this month. All right, so let me just go back and check. Did we do anything with... Well, we obviously did this 6-man tag, but did we do... I don't think we did. No, we didn't. Okay, perfect. So let's have Gilmore take on Charlie Corner. Charlie's going to lose, obviously. And we might even... Do I want to go with a botched interference? I think I do. Should it be a tainted win? I guess it doesn't really matter. And then we'll go botched interference onto Charlie Corner. And of course, that's going to be by Maddie Faith. That's nice. We can have an angle before this match as well. With Maddie Faith cutting on to Angry Gilmore. I guess he can be in the angle for this one. But he won't get any sort of success. And then I think I want to have another angle for him with him cutting an angle back onto Maddie Faith. So I really want to try and get Gilmore's popularity back up a little bit. So we're essentially going to go for a double angle. This storyline has been really hot. It's literally been the rise of Maddie Faith up to a main event talent. So let's have Angry this time. Cutting on to Maddie. There'll probably be one more angle left in this storyline before. I assume we'll go before the actual match at the pay-per-view. will be decent. That one will go after. Kind of like Gilmore getting the last laugh, if you will. I did say that I wanted to do Papa Swole and Jackpot. I don't think I did that last time, did I? No, I basically just did the warm up tag team matches. So this one, let's have Papa Swole go at it. Actually, should I go Papa Swole? Yeah, I should. I was just thinking. I mean, Public Enemy kind of needs to. Do you know what? I want to go Papa Swole and Stephen Parker. And then I think I want to have Papa Swole go over. Because Stephen Parker, he's in time decline. I think we're kind of at the point where he can start to lose, even though he is tag team champions at the moment. One half of the tag team champion. And do I want to go the other match? Or I could just probably put that on the pre-show. Now, I feel like we should have a Marco Gonzalez match and potentially even a win. So, with that said, let's have Brothers for Life take on somebody. I don't know who they're going to take on, but we'll try and find somebody. It actually needs to be somebody, I guess, semi-good. You know what? Honestly, I'm not even against putting them over. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to put them over the Frat Pack. In a way, it's kind of like a bit of a backward step for guys like Zach Powerson and Jack Jackson, because we obviously want them to kind of be the future, if you will. But at the same time, I need to get Gonzalez a little bit of momentum. And I feel like this is probably the only way that's actually going to be like a decent match on the TV show. Otherwise, we're essentially going to have like lower mid-carders taking on jobbers. And I don't really want to do that because it's going to sort of really tank the rating for the show. Well, at least some of the rating. All right, what do we got up next? I mean, we do have Logan, and I guess we can do Logan versus Mutant again. We've kind of done this already, but we may as well go with it. They do have poor chemistry, but this is all storyline focused, so it really doesn't matter too much. Just actually, do I want to give it less time? I think we'll go 12 minutes with this one. Like usually I would go 16 at a minimum. But I kind of want to suss this out and see what actually happens between these guys. And again, it's going to be... Let's have Aldous at ringside. I feel like that'll... Obviously, it advances the storyline, but it also makes sense as to why he would be out there. Yeah, so that's good. And I guess we can do an angle for Aldous as well. Because Aldous... You know, it's been hitting up the angles recently. Let's chuck Zombie Boy in here as well. Only gonna be Aldous getting any sort of success out of this. I guess we may as well put Logan off screen because it will actually advance that storyline and potentially boost it up even a little bit more with you know, Aldous' amazing promo skills. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We do still have more time. I haven't really done anything for Davis. Let me have a look at these matches. I don't think we did anything. Obviously, I think we did Zeus. Did we not do Zeus? Oh, I guess we didn't. Yeah, I mean, the Golden Goats beat the LA Stars. What we'll do Let's do that. Actually, no, I think we did that, didn't we? Sorry, I'm just having these little thoughts going through my head. Yeah, okay. So what we'll do, I know what I'm doing. Go a tag team match. It's gonna hopefully rate pretty highly. Let's have the Golden Goats take on Princeton Price and, of course, John Greed. Of course, Greed doesn't really have anything to do at the moment, so should be a good match for him. And I think I'll give Zeus the win, and we'll make the loser Greed. Just, you know, to potentially keep Princeton just that little bit stronger, as I feel it could be pretty beneficial. So we'll do it that way. We do have 6 minutes left. Let me just go with a 6-minute Princeton Price angle, I think. Just by himself. There we go. I kind of like that. Simple and easy. And again, we've got a pretty good show here. Not a lot of angles in here in the middle. We've got, obviously, the double angle for Angry Gilmore and everything like that. And then I guess we'll do a couple of pre-show matches here as well. The first of which will be Public Enemy taking on Jackpot. And again, hopefully this will actually help out Public Enemy a little bit with his psychology. Obviously, Jackpot going to get the victory. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. And he's at 54. He's not doing too bad. He's pretty much at the level that Papa Swole was at about a year ago, nearly. So it's not terrible. Not terrible. Let's go Gilmore. I think we can get, yeah. I thought we could get another match. Then I think we'll go another 6-man tag. This one, let's have Maddie Faith teaming up with other members of Faith No More, the Rock City Stars. And I think they can just take on like the LA Stars and maybe, yeah, we'll go Blue Dragon. Kind of like a masked sort of lucha. I mean, they're probably not even Lucha Libre, but whatever. Interesting team, to say the least. Just a bit of a masked, at the moment, jobber team. Even though the LA Stars will be picking themselves up a bit. Don't you worry about that. We didn't sign them for no reason. Not sure which match should actually be the... Which match should be the sort of main event for the pre-show. I kind of feel like this one should be. So I think we'll go with that one. And that'll pretty much do us here. So let's run the show. We start off with a 68 rated singles match on the pre-show. We have Jackpot Jordan defeating Public Enemy in 11:57 by pinfall with a cash-in. Maybe this one would have been better on the show instead of the Papa Swole DVP match. Okay, I'm glad this one did better. We get a 75 for the final pre-show match, the big 6-man tag. We have Faith No More defeating Blue Dragon and the LA Stars in 11:51. And Maddie Faith pinned Blue Dragon with a leap of faith. And obviously Maddie head and shoulders above everybody else with an 87 in-ring performance. And he looked excellent out there. He's really in fine form going into this pay-per-view. Alright, we then start the show off with a pretty disappointing angle, to be honest. We only get a 53 rating. Princeton Price kicking off the show. And as you can see, he was very poor when trying to improvise dialogue. So I think going forward, we might script Princeton here. I don't think it's a very good idea to basically not script him. So yeah, anyway, we then go into our tag team match, which does really well, getting an 82. We have the Golden Goats defeating Princeton Price and John Greed in 9:52 when Zeus Maximilian pinned John Greed with a Thunderbolt. Obviously, the GOAT himself carrying the match, getting a 96. Yes, 96 in-ring performance. Insane. And a very solid 82. Hopefully that doesn't beat the main event. I don't think it should. But you never know. You never know. Alright, we then go into a 97 rated angle. Pretty much knew it was going to be this good. It's all just Blackfriar for you. And of course, we have Aldous, joined alongside by Mutant, who is in a matchup next, and Zombie Boy's kind of lurking in the back of the shadows as well. And Aldous, once again, just goes off on Logan, basically says that Mutant's going to take care of him tonight, break his neck, and there won't even be a match at the pay-per-view. Essentially saying that the same that happened to Diaz is going to happen to his cousin, and Mutant's going to put him on the shelf. Another really good match. These two guys get an 82 rating as well, and we do have Logan Wolfsbane defeating Mutant in 11:55 by submission with a Boston Crab. Pretty solid, and of course we already know they don't have the chemistry. They have the negative chemistry. They don't seem to click, but I'll take an 82. Only a 77 there for Logan, so he is obviously capable of a lot better. We all know that. And we move on to a 58 rated 6-man tag where we have Brothers for Life, of course, Gonzalez, Frost, and Cavallero. And they defeat the frat pack of Christie, Jackson, and Powerson in 12-13 when Marco Gonzalez submitted Zach Powerson with a Latino crab. Ray Cavallero, he always seems to be off his game. He's not terrible. Ray's actually he's semi-good. He's kind of in the middle of being a jobber and a lower mid-card. So it's almost hard to sort of define that. Yeah, I mean, I guess an opener would be the old terminology from 2016. Because he had enhancement talent, opener, and then lower mid-carder. So, yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, 58's not terrible. Again, just a victory there for Marco going into his Canadian title match. All right, we then go straight into... Oh, luckily, it actually beats the pre-show match. A 69 rated match here, where we have Papa Swole pulling off an upset, defeating Stephen Parker in 9:33 by pinfall with the pounce. And of course, DVP is one half of the tag team champions, and he is taking on the Crew at the pay-per-view. So, a lot of momentum there for Papa Swole. And as you can see, both Swole and Parker had pretty good chemistry, and it lifted the match. So, we've got some more positive chemistry there. Really good to see. And I don't... Yeah, I think we really need to change Swole's gimmick. I might do that next. Hopefully, yeah, I mean, it could potentially get rid of the negative out of their title match. So I think I will do that, because it can't really get much worse. All right. We then go into a 91 rated angle, this time with only Maddie Faith rated on Entertainment. And of course, he comes out as Angry Gilmore is already in the ring, getting ready to face Charlie Corner, who is obviously about to come out with Maddie Faith. As you can see, Maddie Faith did not do well, but basically Faith says that he's going to beat Gilmore and essentially, wrap up the career of Angry Gilmore. He says that, 2 consecutive pay-per-view losses will probably mean that it's time for Angry Gilmore to take the boots off and put them back on the shelf and maybe move into some other sort of role. Did have a comment last episode as well, potentially having Gilmore be a manager once he retires. He doesn't even have to retire necessarily, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting idea. I think we'll definitely go for it. Obviously, he can talk on the mic, so it makes sense. All right, we then go into a 69 rated match here as well. It's actually pretty good. A little bit better than I kind of expected even. We have Angry Gilmore defeating Charlie Corner in 9:46 by pinfall with an anger management following a botched interference by Maddie Faith. Obviously, Maddie trying to essentially cost Gilmore another match, this time against lowly Charlie Corner, who's barely a mid-carder. I guess I consider him a mid-carder at this point. A 48 from him is actually pretty good, and he's not terrible in the ring either. He has really good brawling, and the psychology is getting up there as well. Anyway, another angle here. We then go from the 91 angle from Maddie Faith, although he did fail his script without a script, to a 99 rating, this time with only Angry Gilmore rated on Entertainment. And as you can see, Gilmore was superb working without a script. So Big difference there. Not a lot of difference in the angle though. Only 8 points away. The 91 to the 99. Not terrible. From Matty Faith, even though he failed. So he could have potentially gotten the same rating had he actually, done well. But yeah, Gilmore says, he's still got more in the tank in regards to his career. He's not going to let a cocky youngster like Matty Faith be the one to put him out, to the pasture, if you will. And he says that, he has to win. If he doesn't win and he loses against Matty Faith, he'll retire to never wrestle in the company again. Big stipulation put on the match there by Angry Gilmore. Of course, he needs to win. All right, we then go into the main event, and as you can see, it does not do as well, which is interesting. Now, obviously, it does have storylines associated with it, because we've obviously put in the Gonzalez and Goldstein distraction as well. So let's have a little look at the dirt sheet here. But we do have Mobstar defeating Gary Walker in 1955 by pinfall. They flatten a DDT following interference from Marco Gonzalez. During the match, we also had Ozzy Goldstein distract Mobstar. So Goldstein came down to ringside. Didn't exactly get involved, but sort of made his intentions known. We get an 83, so it is the best match on the show, which I'm obviously happy with. And usually I'm happy with a main event on the TV show just being over 80. So 83 is okay. But then you look back at the match they had, the 89, on the pre-show of last week. And, it's lower. And it shouldn't really be. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the only storyline penalty we actually got, which is good to see that Goldstein and Mobstar benefited. It didn't gain heat, but it did advance, so that's good. That's good. We're not getting any penalties, so that match could potentially be, obviously we have another angle, but it could be the best it's going to be at the pay-per-view, which I really like to see. Obviously, the push for Canada is the only downside. Anyway, we have one more angle, and it does not do well. But luckily, it doesn't actually drag the segment down, or the storyline down, sorry. But we get an 84 here. We have Mobstar and Goldstein going back and forth. But as you can see, Mobstar, surprisingly, struggled when going off script. I wouldn't really expect him to be the one struggling in this sort of scenario. Everybody has an off day, I know that. 84 is still, it's not terrible. But I did expect a 90 or above. Anyway, it's fine. Basically, the usual spiels going on here. Mobstar saying that there's no way it's going to be Ozzy Goldstein. He might have won a tournament, but there was interference. It wasn't clean. The whole tournament was he kind of puts it over as a bit of a joke. There was only 3 real main event talents, and everybody else was sort of an upper mid card, sort of new to the title scene, if you will. Goldstein's not happy. Says that he wants to reclaim the world title, and he's gonna do so at the pay-per-view. All right, we finished the show there. We actually get a really good show rating despite the sort of lackluster rating from the main event there. We get an 87 for this go-home show. That's one of our best sort of TV show ratings as well. I think it might be like top 3 or top 4 potentially for our best ever TV shows. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. I think we also got an increase as well in Ontario, because we now have 7 regions in America that we are restricted due to growth, and 49 increases. So I'm assuming that was pretty good. Anyway, what I am going to do, and this is not something that I've tested, so it potentially, and I say potentially because it could be a very big risk doing this. And essentially, I probably should have done it before I decided to do that. We also have Adam Smash's contract running out here. And I mean, this guy has a lot of popularity. He's also really good on the microphone as well. And he's still got a little bit left in the tank, being 40 years old. But we are, too small for him, which is unfortunate. Really got that popularity across all the SWF regions, if you will. We have finally hit a 1 TV rating. Over 752,000 viewers, with over 1.1 million overall. Not too bad. Not too bad for a good go-home show. All right, CWA, they got a 100 rated main event, so that's always interesting. Of course, the Mob, Sunny Wildside, Aaron Knight. That's a different combination. No, it's not. Defeated Shooter Sean Dealey and Mikey Lau. Then we had Jared Johnson defeating Skip Bow by DQ in a television title match, getting an 85 there as well. That's not terrible. Of course, a typical really good women's match there from Brooke Tyler with a 94 overall. And we are actually up to 81 popularity in Ontario. 51 in Saskatchewan. I think we actually might have gone up 1 point in every region except for Maritimes, Manitoba, and British Columbia there as well, I think. Anyway, we're back over 10 million. So what I want to do now is I can actually take the risk in essentially doing this. And that was to essentially shut down the Coalition Network. I'm kind of just wondering, should I shut it down or should I... Because I made the mistake, right? I made the mistake. I overlooked it. I wanted to go very big. Obviously, I kind of said that. And obviously it was going to be a bit cheaper. You know what? Just to penalize myself a little bit more, and instead of going for a developmental right now, I think I want to go very big in Canada. Do I? Actually, do I? Because we're still gaining popularity. Let me have a quick think here. All right, so we're still gaining a lot of popularity in Canada with big coverage. But we're not gaining any more popularity in the US across 7 different regions. So in theory, it makes more sense to try and get big coverage in the USA. That makes a lot more sense. With that, hopefully with a bigger coverage there as well, we'll actually gain more money in from our own broadcaster. So I'm thinking we go for it. I think we just focus on the US. Let's just keep increasing. But we're going all the way up to big. Be nice if it told you how much money you actually had right here on this particular screen. Let me save that. Okay, we've spent 2 million. Nothing. Let's keep going. All right. That's expensive though. Going up to medium. Okay. We're now at medium. And I kind of regret my decision to do that. Oh, man. We're down to 4.4 million. And to upgrade again, it's going to cost us 9.5 million to get big coverage. So essentially in doing that, I've kind of screwed myself over. Big time. Isn't it funny that I've now screwed myself over twice with the broadcaster? Potentially we might still get some increase because we're potentially going to reach more viewers in total, I guess. Anyway, hilarious mistakes from me. But you know, we learn here. You got to learn from your mistakes. And boy, have I been making some mistakes recently. The non-exclusive written contract, number 1, biggest mistake, and now number 2. Well, actually, we can go back even further. Number 1 being not going very big with the original, broadcaster, costing us 7.2 million or whatever it was going to cost. And then now having to potentially pay another 8 million. And the fact that we just spent roughly 6 million to get the same exact coverage that we already have on pay-per-view. Anyway, it's fine. It's not fine, but it is what it is. And we're not going to dwell on it any longer. let's get into it. It's Brutal Vengeance. Yeah, Brutal Vengeance number 5. That's pretty cool. I definitely like that. We've got some big matches, man. We've got some really big matches. Of course, we're going to go on to Canada One Choice, You Demand, and of course, the newly coveraged in the US Coalition Network. So there we go. All right, and of course, got to hit up Toronto. 51,616 fans expected. That's a big turnout. We also have an incident. What's our incident? Incident with LA Star. He lifted the locker room, providing a free crate of drinks for everybody. There we go. You love to see it. We can do some more meddling here as well. Let's go Kavanaugh and Davis. No effect. They still hate each other. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go black screen here. We're gonna go black screen twice for this episode. One for the main event, and then the other match will be the Gilmore Faith match. I feel like that one's, with the added stipulation, I feel like it's a very interesting match. So I want to kind of leave that without a spoiler in the booking phase. All right, so I'll book the main event right now. Obviously, it is going to be the current unified world champion, I almost said mutant, Mobstar, taking on the number 1 contender tournament winner, being Aussie Goldstein. And of course, Mobstar's got 89 popularity, and I think, let me have a look at Goldstein. Goldstein's at 79, so that's 2 really high popularities coming together. I really like that. And it's potentially could be a solid 90 plus rated match with Mobster in there, in my opinion. And of course, Goldstein, he's no slouch either. So I'm expecting big things. Should be a good one. All right, so there is the main event booked. I'll book a few other matches so you guys have something to watch for a little while, and then we'll book the Gilmore Faith match at the end. So up next, we'll go with Davis, the GOAT, and he can take on his opponent, which is Princeton Price. Also got my little storyline sheet next to me. Yeah, Princeton was very unimpressive, is probably the correct way of saying it. Very unimpressive with that angle on that last show. So, yeah, not going to be a good night for him. And of course, the Davis re-emergence as a true champion, or hopefully future champion, is going to come back. We'll do the Gary Walker mid-card Canadian title match, taking on Marco Gonzalez. We'll just go 12 minutes for this one. Not exactly too important. More than anything, it's just another title defense, really, for Gary. I mean, I don't feel bad, but it's Gonzalez, so yeah. I don't know. Brothers for Life, they've turned into jobbers. There was a comment actually on the last episode that said maybe we should look for another member potentially. They also said they wanted to kick out Louise Frost, but yeah, we probably shouldn't do that. Anyway, we got the Moneymakers taking on the Crew. We need to do the gimmick as well, so I'll do that after I book it. So let's have the Crew and Moneymakers together. Coalition Tag Team titles on the line as well. This one should be a good match. The tag matches have been pretty good recently. I'd like to give it 16. I would like to give it a decent amount of time. It is not going to be a successful night, though, for our boys, the Crew. It's not good. Not looking good for them. And that's actually like our last sort of match apart from Logan and Aldous. So let's we'll get that one booked in there as well. And then of course we have our potential retirement match. This one's a weird one. I'm not sure which way to go. I'm really not sure which way to go. All right, I think I'm gonna go. Let me go black screen real quick. I'm gonna book the this match as well off camera, just to make it interesting. All right, I think that should be booked correctly as well. Ooh, okay. Somebody's actually unhappy in this match, which is interesting. Wouldn't really expect it, but there we go. We're gonna have to keep somebody strong. All right, I'll bring it back. And I want to make that sort of the semi-main event. And I think I'll put Davis and Princeton right up the top. And then I think before the Moneymakers match, so I've got to go black screen again, and we'll book the final match here as well. Which is, of course, Angry Gilmore in a potential retirement match against Maddie Faith. He will retire if he loses this match against Maddie Faith. Like I said, we're kind of gonna make him a manager in this one after he retires, I guess is the best way of putting it. There we go. Obviously, he can't road agent his own match. Would also be a penalty this match, so I think let's do a stipulation on it. Let's do a stipulation. I quit match would probably make the most sense. But I think for this one, let's go last man standing. Yeah, we'll go last man standing. All right, there we go. That one's going to be interesting. I think, like I said, we'll make this one go just before the tag team title match. I mean, we still have a lot of time left. And we don't, I mean, yeah, it's an interesting one. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go for an impromptu tag team match. And let's have Kavanaugh on the show, because we need him on the show anyway to try and get rid of his seriously bad morale issues. He's going to take on Giant Brody and Graham Gorman. And I guess we have to give him a tag team partner. Don't know who to give him, though. Yeah, nobody's really standing out to me. Maybe John Greed? I mean, John Greed's had a long and storied rivalry with Giant Brody. And I do want to give Brody the victory, so there we go. Doesn't need to be overbooked, but it will be decisive. And I don't really care who loses that one either. So I think that'll be our storytelling match. It's going to go for 16 minutes, but I think it's perfectly fine. And we'll chuck that one right there. That looks pretty good. So let's wrap up with our angles. I think I want to just go for a mobster angle with Aussie off camera. Actually, he would technically be on camera. Now that I think about it, because it's going to be before their match. I guess as Mobstars come into the ring, he'll probably take up the microphone, say a few choice words, maybe even to the Toronto crowd. Up next, I think we basically have to go with Aldis as well. His angles have been incredible. You know what? I don't really want to tarnish it either. So their storyline is, I think, at a decent level for them to be pulling a really solid match rating. So with that, I think I don't want Logan to basically speak. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Okay. I forgot to do the gimmick. So let's do the gimmick first before you guys start your comments. Alright, so Papa Swole. I guess we'll just go straight in the middle. I was going to go maybe a bit more creative. We could probably go a bit more creative and generic. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll get some inspiration as well. Actually, let's have a look at him. So what are some of his plays? Dominant, plays swagger. I mean, he would be dominant. I mean, he plays badass and legitimate well. So let's go dominant, badass, or legitimate. All right. All right. So let's go badass first. What have we got? There's not a lot there, to be honest. They're kind of weird ones, to be fair. So let's go dominant instead, because he would be dominant. I mean, he is a muscular big heavyweight, so the strongman gimmick would be pretty. Yeah, let's go strongman. I think he would fit the strongman. He's literally 6'7", 340 pounds, and a muscular big heavyweight. So I feel like that definitely fits his gimmick. Well, that is his gimmick. It fits his look and I guess his bio pretty well. Okay, so with that done, let's go for I think we'll go a Moneymakers angle with them on, I guess, on camera as well. Although, maybe we just do... Let me do it this way. Let's have a backstage run-in between Jackpot and Papa Swole. With both of them going back and forward. I think that's a better way of doing it. And that can advance their storyline as well. So it's like a one-on-one sort of scenario, war of words, basically back and forth. Who's going to win the title? You know, one team says they're going to win, the other team says they're going to win. Just some simple sort of stuff there. We then want to have an Angry Gilmore angle, just by himself before his match. Could be a bit of an impromptu retirement speech. You guys will just have to wait and find out, I guess. Could be a sad day for the coalition here. We'll go a Davis angle to kick us off. I'd like to have Gilmore doing that as well. I mean, I guess we go one last angle. I don't really need an angle for this match here. I think we'll go Gary Walker. Maybe he can have a run-in with Gabriella, just those two. Maybe we have Gary being... He is a heel at the moment. He would be maybe quite sleazy towards Gabriella. That'll be fine. Okay. That looks pretty good. Let's just try and use everybody. Let's go for a 5-on-5. Let's have the Disciples of Darkness, and they can team up with... Actually, I might have them in a separate match. Let's not use them right now. Let's kind of go like maybe some tag teams together. Let's have Young and Wasted take on the Rock City Stars. LA Stars can maybe be with the Young and Wasted's team, I guess. And then I guess we could have Los Hermanos on the other team to get them involved. With everybody else, I mean, we need some singles guys in here as well. Go Zippy on that team, and then let's go with Masked Patriot, the other team. That's a first pre-show match. Kind of, you know, a lot of people getting involved there. I like that. You know, essentially 10 people getting involved, so I feel like it'll work pretty well. Anyway, Kavanaugh can road agent for this one. And then let's do a 6-man tag as well. And then let's have Disciples of Darkness. Yes, they can take on... Yeah, let's have them take on... Yeah, we'll do it. I almost wasn't going to do it then, but they're going to take on the Frat Pack. Zach lose popularity? I think he did. I think he lost one. No, he's still at 37. Okay. Kind of good to know. I mean, I feel like their team has to win, even though they have Original Sinner on their team. Obviously, Mutant did lose, so I feel like we need to potentially give him a win. Again, at the expense of the Frat Pack and Jack Jackson and Zach Powerson. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, hopefully we'll get a little bit of rub off from Mutant onto Zach himself. Will be pretty decent. And actually, we actually need to call the match, don't we? Because of old Scatterbrain over there. Alright, we're going to get 2 penalties there. Sinner and Powerson. There we go. Okay, well, that's the show. Let's run it. I think it looks really good. And we start off with a 63 rated pre-show match where we have Forces of Darkness, Mutant, Zombie Boy, and Original Sinner defeating the Frat Pack in 11:34 when Mutant pinned Jack Jackson with the Tina Turner. Interesting. Very interesting. Surprised he pinned Jackson instead of Powerson, but there we go. And of course, we got the penalties there for the psychology. And the second pre-show match, the big 10-man tag, we get a 65 rating. Where we have Masked Patriot, Young and Wasted, and the LA Stars defeating Zippy Deverell, the Rock City Stars, and Los Hermanos 2 in 11:46 when Masked Patriot pinned Louise Frost with a Patriot Slam. It's a good match. Got a 70 in-ring there from Masked Patriot as well. Yeah, pretty happy with those pre-shows. Alright, we then kick off the actual pay-per-view. Brutal Vengeance 5. With who else but the GOAT coming out, continuing his sort of redemption tour, and giving us a 98 rated angle here. Doing a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. Of course, everybody was pretty weak except for, what's his name? Jurian, yeah. Completely forgot his name, but there we go. His match does really, really well. An 86 rated match here. Where we have Davis Wayne Newton defeating Princeton Price in 20 minutes, 17 seconds by pinfall with a fisherman suplex. He definitely carried him. 94 in-ring for Davis. Only a 64 there for Princeton, so... Not a lot going on. Princeton obviously penalized for both inconsistency and low morale. And they were the only penalties in the match. The storyline held up pretty well. Overall, that's a really good match. I'm assuming Princeton will probably even get a bit of a popularity increase as well. Alright, we then go into our sort of, impromptu tag team match, getting a 63. Where we had Giant Brody and Graham Gorman defeating Mighty Kavanaugh and John Greed in 15:58. And Giant Brody pinned Mighty Kavanaugh with a single-handed choke slam. Graham Gorman here getting a 72 in-ring with Brody getting a 66, and both Greed and Kavanaugh getting 61s. Alright, what do we got? We got holding back for Greed and declining physical ability. Then we've also got holding back and low morale for Kavanaugh. And then we got holding back and inconsistency there for Giant Brody. Okay, nearly everybody. Sorry, respect to Graham Gorman. He wasn't holding back. Which is very strange to see on a pay-per-view. Well, I guess maybe not. Anyway. Maybe it had something to do with it being the storytelling match. I have no idea, but potentially. Alright, we then go into a 68 rated angle. Again, this one's not exactly up to scratch of where I want it to be. As you can see, Gary Walker struggled when going off script. But basically, like I described when I was booking it, he's essentially just creeping on Gabriela Ortega. Kind of like a Me Too moment, if you will. You know, touching her shoulder, just just real sort of despicable stuff. And Gabriella is obviously not too impressed and a little bit freaked out. You have to assume that that's probably going to get in the head of Marco Gonzalez. Their match does surprisingly well, considering it's Marco Gonzalez. Get a 73 rated match where we do have Gary Walker defeating Marco in 12:03 by pinfall with a pants pull sunset flip. We have Gary Walker making defense number 3 of the CWC Canadian title. So 73 rated match, and we had a 67 in ring from Gary and only a 52 from Marco. Goes to show how well this match was actually booked and how well these guys did. And even Gonzalez got penalized for inconsistency. So it could have been a little bit higher potentially as well. Pretty cool. We have our third defense there for the Canadian title as well. Alrighty, we then go into a 100 rated angle. Potentially the retirement speech here for Angry Gilmore. He says that he doesn't want to go out. He says that it cannot be cocky little punk like Matty Faith. A guy that hides behind a faction, hides behind a stable. He says there's going to be no outside interference tonight, and it will be the last man standing. The match does pretty well. We get a 79, and we have Angry Gilmore defeating Matty Faith in a last man standing match in 9 minutes 39 seconds when Matty Faith could not beat a 10 count after an anger management. Unfortunately, Angry Gilmore was really off his game, so that's a bummer. That's a real bummer. Only a 61 in ring there for him. But Matty Faith, impressive as ever, really, with a solid 85 in ring. Very, very impressive. Yeah, I mean, only 2 penalties. Obviously, the inconsistency because it was off his game, and then the declining physical ability as well for Gilmore. And as you can see, he wins the potential retirement match and gets a victory back there on Matty Faith. I'm hoping that Matty's not going to lose much popularity. It was decisive, but their popularity is very close at the moment. So Matty Faith has, I think, 77 popularity, and Angry Gilmore he had going into this match, I think 75 or 76. So hopefully Matty won't lose any, and Angry might gain a little bit. Alright, we then go into a 71 rated angle for our sort of tag team storyline. We have Jackpot Jordan and Papa Swole running into each other just before their match backstage. And of course, they look like they want to extend handshakes to each other. They don't end up doing it. And then they kind of erupt into a bit of an argument back and forth. Like I said, one team says they're going to win. The other team says they're going to win. It's a pretty bog standard sort of angle between tag teams, or at least between 2 members of a tag team, or one half of each tag team is the best way of saying it. As you can see, Jackpot looked good. Unfortunately, Papa Swole did not do well without a script to follow, and of course, he literally won't let me script him, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, Papa Swole is now using a strongman gimmick, and it got an initial rating of adequate, so that's a lot better. Obviously, poor was his previous gimmick rating. Hopefully likely to rise over time as well. This one gives a large boost to Menace during angles. Doesn't really matter, we use entertainment. And it can also be penalized for being used in lengthy matches. A little bit of a worry. I think we're going into a 16-minute match as well. It does pretty well. We get a 73. They're not going to be as good as the matches with the Rock City Stars and Young and Wasted, but that's pretty good for the crew. The crew, they're kind of a little bit further down the pecking order. We do have the Moneymakers defeating the crew in 15:37 when Jackpot in Public Enemy with a Make It Rain. And of course, the Moneymakers make defense number 3 of the CWC Coalition Tag Team titles as well. We also had Stephen Parker off his game, so a little bit frustrating there, but it's Stephen Parker. He's prone to doing that as well, and of course he's in time decline, so it is what it is. All right, we then go into a 98 rated angle from Aldous Blackfriar. Again, he's still smashing it, doing absolute, work, putting in work. Even the storyline advanced and gained more heat. So I don't think we'll be getting a storyline penalty bonus unless it's a 100 rated match. Possibility? Maybe. All right, here we go. I guess this is our semi-main event. Okay, it's pretty good. I'm happy with that. We get a 92 for our semi-main event. And we have Aldous Blackfriar defeating Logan Wolfsbane in 20 minutes, 25 seconds by submission with a Gloomweaver clutch after interference from Mutant. So essentially what's happened in this one is... Actually, I also kept Logan strong in this. I didn't realize, but I kept him strong. So that would have been even higher than a 92. Wow. Okay. I like it. I really like that match. But yeah, basically Mutant gets involved, hits a mad pile driver onto the outside, similar to what we sort of described Diaz's broken neck injury. So Mutant hits the pile driver out in the concrete, and then rolls him back in the ring. And then obviously Aldous puts on the Gloomweaver clutch to get the victory. And it's a tainted victory. And like I said, we kept Logan strong, so he's not going to lose. Well, he's probably not going to lose any popularity. And we have absolutely no negatives coming out of that. So there we go. Happy days. And we'll check the top-rated matches as well, because that'll be up there. Maybe top 5, top 6, potentially. But we still have the main event. And the main event might be able to beat that. Maybe. All right, we go into a 92 rated angle from Mobstar. Doing a good job this time. Just him rated on entertainment. Obviously, Goldstein's already in the ring as the champion does come out second. This time he actually worked the crowd well, using the freedom to improvise to his advantage. And says that, he's feeling... he's feeling really, really good. Top of his game. And Goldstein's not going to be the one to take the title away from him. All right, here we go. The main event for the Unified World title. It's not as good. It's not as good. It's still really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy with an 88 rated main event. But in my mind, I should have known. Aldous, Logan, going to be an absolute cracker of a match. Let's be real. This one's still good, but it is Mobstar essentially carrying the match to this 88. But I am happy with it. And we do have Mobstar defeating Aussie Goldstein in 1951 by pinfall with a flattened DDT. We have Mobstar making defense number 4 of the CWC Unified World title. It's a good match. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I've said it about 3 times now. 90 would have been perfect, but 88 is still really good. We've got a 92 in-ring from Mobstar, 78 there from Goldstein. So, as you can see, he did let it down a little bit. And apparently we got a penalty for, not having great color commentary, which will be solved. That will be solved once we get Tom Townsend in. And hopefully we will get him in. Okay, so we got low morale as well. I probably should have given him a bonus to get rid of that. I should have thought about that, but we also got poor color commentary as well. Not an issue. In the show, we get a 91 rated show. Is it our best ever show? It might be. And as you can see, we actually gained popularity in all 18 regions. So even going up to medium size with our broadcaster, we've actually gained popularity in all the US regions. That's perfect. That's really good. What I should do is also go Mexico, at least small in Mexico, for the pay-per-views on our broadcaster. It would be a decent way of I should have done that as well. Just gaining more popularity in the Mexico regions. Alright, so we're going to go Kavanaugh. Going to go Goldstein, and I guess we'll go. I remember. Is it Stan Manor? Let's go Papa Swole because I think he had morale issues as well. Yikes. Anyway, yeah. So Papa Swole was happy, so he's should be gone. I think Stan Manor had issues as well, and I would have liked to have gotten rid of those. Anyway, have a look at a few things before we end the episode. I want to, of course, have a look at how much money we make. We have a pay rise request here from Lee Bambino. Oh, the poor guy. He's only on $310. He wants $430, but I'm still only going to give him 75%. All right, so there we go. He's actually joined. He's now joined. So that's pretty cool. We got a... Let's have a look. Pay-per-view buy rate, 310,000 buys. I think that's actually a little bit up. I think wasn't the last one like 0.59? I think it was, yeah, 0.59. And viewing figures, we got a 1.43 TV rating for that one as well. That was massive. 1.074 million viewers. Very impressive. Okay. First things first, before we advance the one day. Well, would you look at that? 90 popularity in Ontario for Aldous Blackfriar. 90 pop. I want to check Mobstar because Aldous might be the most over. If Mobstar didn't gain any popularity, Aldous will be the most over. Anyway, with that said, let's have a look at Davis. 87. That's probably his cap. I reckon that's his cap. Don't think he can go any higher than that. But we have Logan. Logan's at 88. I think that's up. I think he was at 85. Yeah. 85 at the start of the month. So he's actually gained 3 points with that storyline. That is going to continue as well over next month with Aldous. I might even make them the main event. And we might do something else with Mobstar. And the winner of this next match between Logan, if it's a clean victory between Logan and Aldous, will be the new #1 contender. That's interesting, man. 90 pop for Aldous, 88 pop for Logan. Man. Let's have a look at Angry Gilmore as well. So he's back up to 79. He was at 75. 76, sorry. He was at 76. I'm literally hoping that he didn't actually take any pop away from Faith. He didn't. He didn't take any because he was already at 77. As you can see, he's up 2 points this month as well. That's perfect. Faith is still on track with his legendary gimmick there as well. All right, here we go. Mobstar, is he still the most popular in the company? Yes, he is. Look at that. 92 pop for our current unified world champion. Our workers, they're over. They are over. Holy crap. That's very interesting. I'm happy that he kept the most popular in the company because I would love that to stay as our world champion. Who else have we got? Princeton Price. Is he up to 70 yet? 68. Only gained 1 point. That's not ideal. He did lose a few matches though, so maybe I should cut him a little bit of slack. And finally, Aussie Goldstein, 81 pop, so he gained 2 points as a result of that main event. 3 points for the whole month as well. So it's been a good month for Goldstein as well. Is he losing stamina? No, he's not. So he's still not... Yeah, he's not in time decline yet. That could be coming. He is 37 years old. Anyway, let's check two last people. Let's have a look at the current tag team champion. Actually, let's have a look at, what's his name? Gary Walker as well. 55 pop there. In Ontario. He's up 2 points a month. It's nothing, spectacular. Jackpot's at 66. is up 1 point as well. And then finally, actually, Papa Swole. How's he doing? 53. He's gained 3 points this month. And he's now got a new gimmick as well, which is adequate. And he can also call matches now. He gained another point of psychology up to 64. That's perfect. He can literally call the 12-minute matches. Awesome. All right. The next thing I want to do before we advance, actually, is our announcing team. So, we need to make a change. And, fortunately for Grace Harper, yeah, it's not looking good for her. Tom Townsend going to come in, take a... Ooh, that's not great. That has very low experience now. Whereas this one has excellent. I don't think we can actually get around that. Yeah, we can't actually get around that. So what we're going to have to do is, we're literally going to have to go all the way back down to very low, which actually sucks because that's, you get I think you get a bonus on every match for the excellent chemistry for the announced team. Oh, that's unfortunate. But at least it'll stop our penalties like what happened in the main event. So, okay, it's not terrible. Not terrible. Also, Kavanaugh still has big morale issues. So, I think I don't like to do clear the air for our shows. There are a few people that have issues, man. We got Princeton. We've got Goldstein, obviously Kavanaugh. And we also have Stan Manor in there as well. Everybody else is kind of a jobber. Yeah, that's rough. Anyway, let's advance one day, get into the month of March, and let's have a look at the finances, because obviously we've spent a lot of money on the broadcaster. But you know what? Essentially, it actually paid off. That sort of mistake paid off, because we did gain all that popularity, and hopefully we'll continue to do that over the course. Actually, you know what? Maybe we won't for the TV show, because obviously pay-per-view is medium pay-per-view coverage and medium broadcaster coverage, whereas TV is obviously small coverage from TV, and then obviously medium now as well. Good dazzling Dave Diamond. Yeah, no, he's past it. And you got Baby Jamie. I mean, he's an average ref. Excuse me again. Gotta keep yawning. It's pretty late in the morning. Should say early in the morning. Okay, so pretty funny, but we're already back up to over 7 million. So we made a pretty penny that month as well. Ticket sales up another 300,000. Broadcast revenue up, what's that? 250,000 additional. That's pretty crazy. Nearly an extra 20,000 on sponsors. Merchandise is up 110,000. And pay-per-view is up about 30k there as well. So all in all, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, we've literally spent quite a lot on media in the last 2 months. Yeah, nearly. Oh, actually, what's that? That's like 11 million. Yeah, we literally spent $11 million in the last 2 months. But you know what? We've actually got a pretty good broadcaster right now. Now, should I do Mexico? I don't. The thing is, we don't actually need to do Mexico until, I guess, the pay-per-view, because we're already getting small coverage in Mexico. Maybe it would be better just to have both. But what? 82 popularity in Ontario. It went up another point. Let's have a look. That was our best ever pay-per-view as well. Brutal Vengeance. Number 5. Wow. 91 rated pay-per-view. To be fair, we probably had some of the best matches. Actually, not really, actually. We had third best match. Luckily, this one, obviously, with Aldous, being the A, it sits above Mobstar defeating Zombie Boy, because obviously this match means a lot more than this match here, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it is our third best match. I guess tied third, because all three of these are 92s. So our top five matches in the company now all 92 rated and above. That's pretty decent. Obviously, that is assuming that's our best pay-per-view buy rate as well. Let's have a look. What do we get for everything changes? Yeah, we got a 0.59, so I was correct. We got an additional like 12,000 buys. Pretty cool, but that might be the sort of increases in popularity as well. I don't know. Anyway, that's a really good episode. I really enjoyed that one. We're gonna have some new storylines next episode as well. We've obviously finished the Angry Gilmore, Maddie Faith storyline there. Like I said, we'll move Mobstar into a non-world title storyline. Maybe we'll finally have him and Mighty Kavanaugh going at it. Potentially have actually that's a good idea. I should probably write this down. But have Kavanaugh and Public Enemy team up to take on Papa Swole and Mobstar, creating the divide there. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Actually, could be pretty cool. Obviously, it would only be like actually, we could go 16 minutes with it. To be fair, go 16. Yeah, everything else, I think we're probably going to push the LA Stars. But yeah, apart from that, guys, it is the end of the episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you could smash a like if you haven't already. I know most of you guys smash the like button at the start of the videos. I do appreciate it. Should probably ask for it at the start of the videos just to try and help these videos, get picked up by the algorithm a little bit better. But apart from that, make sure you subscribe to the channels, guys. I don't have multiple. But yeah, apart from that, as you can tell, I'm really tired, but I really enjoyed this, and I'm gonna go to bed happy with those two main events, the 92 and the 88. I'm a happy man. Hopefully it'll continue for next episode as well. Anyways, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.